Okay guys, this is the makeup video for 2025. You want to start with a super clean base, wash the face, wipe it off with a makeup wipe, all the things. Now I'm going in with a Power Grip primer. This stuff is great to just help the makeup stick all day. I'm just going in, rubbing it with my hands. I find that's just easiest with this kind of stuff. Rubbing it all the way in. Once it starts to get sticky, that's when you know it's pretty good and blended in. Next, I'm going in with a skin tint. This just kind of helps us get an even moisturized base all the way around. So if there's any like color, pigmentation, anything on the skin, this kind of just gets a good base going. Again, just rubbing in with my hands. I find it easiest with this like kind of moisturizer type stuff. Making sure I blend it into the hairline, across the eyelids, into the ears, all the things. Now I'm going in with a foundation. Make sure this is matching their like competition day skin tone. I know some of the girls get spray tans, so make sure you're getting a color that matches their spray tanned face and not their winter pale face. And I'm just going in with a brush, blending it out. I also like to use beauty blenders. If you're going to use a beauty blender, just make sure you get it damp before. I found that helps blend out the product a little bit smoother. So just really making sure I'm going down the neck, matching it behind the ear, all the way down, just trying to blend it the best you can. Next, I'm going in with concealer. This you want to make sure is brighter and a lighter color than the foundation, because we want to brighten up those areas. So I'm just putting it right under the eyes, making little dots. A little goes a long way. And I'm taking a brush again. Again, you can use a beauty blender, but I'm kind of just tapping it into the creases that I want it, or just the places that I placed the concealer. I like to go in a little triangle area, so right underneath the eye and up the line of the eye, and then down right by the nose, up in the forehead, right between the eyebrows, and then on the chin as well. Try to tap this as much as you can instead of rubbing, so that it's not taking off that foundation. Next, I'm going in with the bronzer. This, you just want to use a big fluffy brush, going in with the cheekbones. It really helps when the girls do those kissy faces, just so that you can help see where you're going. So you want to go in the cheekbones, across the forehead, and then down the neck. You want to blend this out a ton so it doesn't look just super crazy and harsh. You want it to look very natural. Now I'm going in with a pressed powder. Going in at the places where I placed that concealer and my bronzer did not go. Again, just kind of brightening up those eyes a little bit. I'm tapping it in right here, letting it sit for just a second, and then I'm taking a brush and wiping it all of that extra powder away, and then kind of just blending any extra powder also with like the bronzer, so that it's like a clear, like a smooth transition. Now I'm going in with a blush, taking a big brush. The smile helps so you can see their cheeks, and you want to layer this on. You got to make sure it lasts all day. Next is I'm doing concealer on the eyelids as a little primer before eyeshadow. This I've just found helps get a good base and a good clean base before, trying to stack shadow on. Also helps it stick. So now I'm going in with this light brown shade on the bottom left corner of the palette, taking a big fluffy brush, and I'm first starting by tapping this shade into the crease. I want to tap it into kind of a C shape from the outside of the eyelid, and then to the bone, the brow bone, and then out and into the bone, or out and into the eyelid. After I've kind of carved out my shape, I want to blend it out a bit more. So now I'm just taking my brush, same color, and just kind of blending out that shade so it's a little bit softer. And then I go right by each step. I want to do each eye because it kind of just helps me match the pictures before I add on, more colors and it gets too delayed, or they don't match. So I kind of just stipple it in and then blend it out. These shades are pigmented, so, a little also goes a long way. Now I'm going in with the maroon shade, and I am tapping that into the crease, more of the crease. So this one I'm not going to be blending as much, but more just tapping right in the crease between their eyelid and their brow bone, just to darken up that crease a little bit more. Now I'm taking that bigger brush and kind of just blending those two colors out a little bit. This part I missed that one day, so you'll kind of see here we took that lighter shimmery shade and we're putting it all over the lid and then across the brow bone. This you want to be super, super bright. This will help brighten their eyes on stage. So just making sure we get that, and then you can pull it down into the little crease in the eyeshadow or in the eyelid, and then you can kind of just see a better placement of the brow shadow there. So there's the eyeshadow, kind of simple, you got it. And then in this one I'm just kind of blending all of those colors together. Now I am taking my eyelashes. For the littles, you're gonna have to measure them out, so I kind of place it on her eye to see how much I need to cut off. Usually it's only like a lash or two, but it's better than, you know, a big full lash that doesn't fit their eye. So I take little scissors, and then I take some lash glue, and I'm just making a thin layer across the lash band. Black glue is amazing because it kind of closes that gap between the eyelid and the lash line. So I like the black glue, but if you go with the clear, that's great too. Just make sure you're adding eyeliner. Then I place it along the lash line, really try to get it right on the lash line. And then right here, I'm pressing the eyelash in for like 30 seconds, and then I press it in and up for another 30 seconds, and then kind of blow it off. Make sure it's getting dry and stuck onto that lash line. And then keeping her eyes closed, I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. Same thing, just placing it on the lash line, pressing it in, and then pressing it in and up, just so that it can blend a little bit better with those lashes. Again, still keeping her eyes closed, don't want them open just yet. Taking a spoolie and just brushing out her eyebrows. I don't want to make a crazy shape that's not, you know, fitting to her natural shape, so kind of just shaping that out a little bit. Taking the brow pencil to just add some color. Again, I don't want to change her brow completely, just want to darken them up a little bit since we've added so much makeup to the face. Once I've done that, I'm kind of spoolieing it out a little bit, especially for the girls with the lighter brows, just to make sure the colors blend very nice. So yeah, just keeping it with the brow color, the brow shape, penciling it out, making straight line motions, so we're not just like coloring her brow, but making it seem like brow hairs. Now I'm going in with a brow glue or a brow gel. The spoolie ones are nice because, again, you can kind of just brush it like you would just spoolie out her eyebrows. Don't miss this step. It helps their brows not go crazy when they're just dancing all day. Okay, now she's trying to open her eyes. Sometimes it'll get stuck. That's fine. You just pull it apart and they'll be good. So, yeah. Okay, now we are going in with mascara. What I found with this, you want to have them look up and then close their eyes. And look up and close their eyes. And open and close. Just trying to get it along that lash line, and helps blend the lashes. So just do your best there. It's kind of hard with littles, but if you can get a technique that helps you, I think that's great. Now, again, back to the other video because I guess I didn't like shimmer this day. But we're going in with our NYX palette and a fan brush and brushing it across the cheekbones. Again, super shimmery. We need them glowing on stage. Love it. The highlight is beautiful. Okay, now last step. Well, one of the last steps is lipstick. I always like to start with the bottom lip. Open lips is easier for me to pencil it in, but find what works best for you and your dancer. So I'm kind of just lining the lips first with the lipstick, and then I start to fill it in. And then once it's all filled in, I have her smack her lips so that she can transfer it to her top lip. And then I kind of just line out the top lip a little bit more just to make sure I'm getting a clear lines. And yeah. And now I'm going in with a setting spray and just spraying it all over the face, doing our best to keep this makeup lasting us all day. And then that is the final look, minus the glow, which you will see throughout the video. But this is what it should look like. Pretty simple. You got it. Lots of glam, lots of color. It needs to just continue. It needs to last them all day. And all of the colors need to be super bright because on that stage with all of those lights, you want to be able to tell that they're wearing makeup and have something on their face. So extra heavy with the bronzer, extra heavy with the highlighter, extra heavy with the eyeshadow and blush. And then, yeah, you got it.